Bright Suns, everybody, Batu Boy here, and welcome to the final part of our Star Wars Weekends React series here on Fulcrum Frequencies. For this final part, we dive into the more miscellaneous things. There's a Stormtrooper skit, there's the Darth Maul, and we just kind of close things out with just our overall thoughts and Chris's experiences with the event and just my final thoughts on them. So I hope you guys enjoy, and until next time, till the spire, my friends.
Okay.
So this is
This is
I'm not gonna talk well,
custom labels.
but I'll explain a little bit about this show.
All right, skip.
Sir, we have a message from Fulcrum. Let's hear it. Put him through.
This is Fulcrum. Come in. Fulcrum out.
Another mouse.
All right, so this video, right? So in the Beauty and the Beast theater
Oh dang!
was where they would do their shows, and they always did a pre-show kind of fun, crazy video with the Stormtroopers.
And this is 2015.
Yeah.
Squad! This is not happening again. Alright, people, listen up. I'm looking for my squad. There are three of them. They look a lot like me. Have you seen them? Commander, sorry we're late. Uh-huh. And where were you? We got lost. How
Aw.
did we get lost? Because we used to use the big blue hat as a point of reference.
Oh, because the hat was gone.
That's great. I love that.
Wait. Where is he? No idea.
I love. Oh,
Hey, Commander, sorry I'm late.
I don't want to hear your apologies. Where were you?
You're not gonna believe this, but I got lost. Didn't there used to be a big blue hat out there?
Why do I bother putting on this helmet every morning?
I love
Get
them.
back to your patrol and finish loading in these people.
Oh, does he not have a? Sorry, I'm looking to see if they have like the strap that connects the front plate to the back plate.
Well, I came in here once, and it was far less carbon freeze chamber and far more Naboo palace. There was even a story about some girl who was kidnapped by a brown wampa.
A brown wampa.
Yeah, and I think there was some kind of talking lightsaber.
So these are references to the shows of the past, because it was always like the Stormtrooper skit before the show was always like,
Back to your patrol.
it's almost like a Bill and Ted type, like it just kind of grows in fandom, and people would come back year after year and would go to this to see the show, but also they would really look forward to the pre-show with the Stormtroopers.
Because they're so good. Like, Stormtroopers can be funny.
Yeah.
Except in Andor. They were not funny in Andor.
No.
They were terrifying in Andor. But, like, they're just so, like, that's why I love them so much.
They're kind of like the battle droids in Clone Wars.
Yes, but more badass.
I'm not sure about that.
I love them.
All of you separate. You did. I would just once like to be able to say I am the commander of an elite set of stormtroopers. Instead of you three. Hey, we're elite. Maybe for Gungans, but not for the Empire. The greatest
Gungans.
force in the galaxy.
Actually, I
Damn
believe
right.
the Force is the greatest force in the galaxy.
Oh, there he goes again, talking about the force.
What? It's good enough for Lord Vader.
Well, then why don't you show us how great the force is, Obi-Wan Baloney? This ought to be good.
Baloney.
Watch as I move that civilian.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to use the Force.
That's not how you use the force. You do it like this. No, it's not. It's like this.
These guys are great.
You guys look ridiculous. Have any of you ever even seen a Jedi? Yes. Besides Luke Skywalker? No.
No.
That goes to show you that hokey religions are no match for a good blaster at your side.
Correct.
Lightsaber. Or a double-bladed lightsaber. Or a triple-bladed lightsaber.
A triple-bladed lightsaber would be awesome.
Yeah, right. Commander, can you imagine him with a triple-bladed lightsaber? That would be quite a sight to see.
With 3 blades, I could take out the rebels 3 times as fast.
Or cut your arms off 3 times as fast.
Not me. Whoosh! So long, Skywalker. Whoosh! Adios, Chewbacca. Whoosh! Bye-bye, Han Solo.
Wait.
Oh.
What did you just call him?
Hans Solo.
Again.
Han Solo.
Were you saying Hans?
Yeah, Hans Solo.
No.
What do you call him?
Hans Solo.
Oh.
Oh, that drives me crazy. So many people say that. Listen up. And listen up good. It is not Hans Solo. It's pronounced... Actually, it's pronounced Han. Says who? Lando Calrissian.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Roll the security footage.
Han.
See? Yeah, but that doesn't count. He's being choked by a Wookiee. You're right. Here he is, not being choked by a Wookiee.
Come on, hand, old buddy, don't let me down.
Come on, Han, old
That
buddy.
was wrong. It's pronounced Han.
Guys! Who cares how to pronounce his name correctly? What are you, his mother? Last time I checked, we were supposed to be fighting him, not making sure we say his name correctly.
Well, he is a worthy adversary.
This could be like half the video. I could watch this all day.
Whatever. I don't like him. I don't like him once.
It's not the greatest podcast video, though.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they could hear it. Whatever.
Half-witted, scruffy-looking nerf herders.
Oof.
That's Lord Vader's son you're talking about.
So, I'll tell him to his face just how much I don't like having to chase his son around the galaxy.
Oh, I thought he was gonna say thought he was gonna tell Luke Skywalker that, and Mark Hamill would come out, but nah, it's Vader. That's fun.
Lord Vader! We were just talking about you and how much we enjoyed running all over the galaxy trying to find your son and his rebel friends. Right, guys?
Where'd they go?
Back, fellas. Well, what now? Into the carbon freeze chamber?
It is your destiny.
All right then.
Wow. You should consider yourself lucky.
How is this lucky?
Not a lot of guys can say Lord Vader froze them in carbonite.
Oh my god.
I know.
Are they really about to have a stormtrooper in carbonite? Oh, that's great.
Yes, Lord Vader.
That's great.
Hey, he looks like Hans. Han.
He looks like Hans.
To be fair, I never even watched this because I never went to see this show.
Listen up good. You will be a great audience. You will enjoy the show. And
But
you
what
will
show
hear
was this
from
going to be
us
for?
when we
I thought
leave.
this was the show.
No. This is the pre-show before the Stars of the Saga show. So the Stars of the Saga was when James Donatelli would interview whoever was here. So this weekend it looks like, right, the posters. It's probably the Ian McDermott. And
Yeah.
So the shopping location, right, was called Darth's Mall. Get it?
Yeah,
It's his mall.
it's funny.
So
Good job.
They had all sorts of different things. So they had 2 different. This year, they had a few different locations.
Where is this?
This is back by the old Light Motors Action
Oh, like
Studio
Streets of
Backlot
America.
Tour. Yeah. So it was, for a while, they had tents in like the back where they built the where now it's the the Lightning McQueen experience thing.
Okay,
So
yeah.
before they had that building, they had a big tent, and then they started building that building, and so they had to move this, right? And so this then became where they did it, and this was, they just took over. It was the whole exit building of the backlot tour.
Yeah.
How it always had like different movie props and stuff, but so they had all sorts of specific merchandise.
This just looks like the Celebration store.
To be fair, kind of, but like, I don't know, I think the merch was cooler because they had more specific
Oh, there's all this stuff on the ceiling.
stuff.
That's crazy.
Tons of artwork. It is very Celebration,
It does. It looks like a con. Almost.
but it had tons of figures.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
Uh-huh.
What the
It's a
heck?
Small World-like artwork.
Probably going to be looking for that on eBay later.
Yep.
For, like,
and then of
hundreds
course
of
you're
dollars.
like Kenner and different things.
Okay.
But so yeah, this is just like some of the cool specific for Celebration things, and it was different every year. I mean, some stuff repeated, but you know,
pins.
That's where the poster. Yeah, those are pins. The poster that I have behind me was there. They had magic bands.
Oh my god.
They had.
I used to collect those magic bands like crazy.
I have
Like the box ones.
I have a few still, but
I don't even use a magic band now anymore.
yeah, no, I never even used them at all. But I had some. A big old sand crawler
With some
inside
Jawas.
of Waters Grotto.
I was like, wait, what is that head though? It looks familiar. I think it's from this movie called Star Wars. I think it's a Star Wars.
So it's funny, like I didn't think about, but it's very Celebration.
A nice wipe.
Star Wars weekends. But look, there's
That
Jedi
shirt goes
goofy.
crazy. Oh my god. There's your poster,
Yeah.
but on a shirt. The
You can
pin
buy
board?
I think it's a little photo.
Just got nowhere else to sit,
What did you
bro.
do?
My thing is, isn't there a little bump on the top of that R2? No, there's not. It's smooth.
All the Her Universe stuff.
Oh, that's fun. You go, Ashley Eckstein.
Daddy's little girl.
Look at the Disney Vader helmet.
I know, with the ears.
Oh
Force
my
Awakens.
god.
The first, right? So this was May 2015, and they have shirts with the date on it already for that.
I still remember when
Very
they went...
Celebration like for this, the checkout.
Oh yeah. That's what made me think about it.
Yeah.
And all the like the event stuff on the
behind it.
background.
So
Not a fan of the pass
poster,
holder
but
shirt.
the pass holder version.
I like the black better.
Yeah, I don't like that at all.
What?
All right.
Oh, that's it.
then
Oh,
we'll go
okay.
to the number 2. So the cool thing about so this was after that
I know,
movie
recording
or
it.
that parade that we just watched a little bit ago.
Mom, we are at the Star Wars Festival.
But you can see just
We
how
just saw some Naboo guards, Jango Fett, and Sam Wazell.
how
Yeah.
excited the kids are, the people are. You can see a lot of people in line have outfits.
Cool!
Right?
Yeah,
There's
like
a
they're-
Ahsoka, there's a
Stormtrooper.
This
The
makes
whole
me
bit.
think of like when the show after weekends would happen. Like they would have the characters come
They would all
to
walk.
like they would go
To
to
Launch Bay.
Launch Bay.
Yeah. So this was walking
they're walking
backstage.
by.
And this is over by like where Toy Story Land is now.
Right. You've got the Boba Fett blast there.
Got the
Darth
shooting.
Vader, wave Darth Vader. There's Tusken Raider. Oh,
Darth
here
Vader
comes
already
the big
passed
head
me,
guy.
bro.
Big head guy.
Darth Maul.
That's all
We
big.
don't care about the big head guy. We just care about Darth Maul, as the kid said.
Come on, Ray Park.
I was just wondering, it looked like it was
Darth Maul. Oh, that's got a lightsaber.
Oh, that's how he would carry it.
Greedo.
Cody!
Who?
Oh,
Cody.
it's Asajj
Preston,
Ventress.
Cody, Asajj.
Oh my goodness. No way.
Get pissed out.
Sorry. Baron, look, here comes Kit Fisto.
Here goes Kid
Mace Windu.
Fisto. Yeah, look at dap that kid
Look
up.
at that, right? Making memories. But this is what Star Wars weekends like even, I mean, you'd have adults, kids, everybody was
Who's
just
that?
so incredibly excited and their outfits, right?
Travis,
So I think
you
the last
shook
video
hands
that
with
we
Kit
have
Fisto,
is,
and I got it on camera.
look at his face, Kid Fisto.
That's crazy.
Number 5.
Number 5.
So the last video, just to kind of show, right? This is a really short little clip, but people would come dressed up to just meet, and you can see even on the side, right? They're dressed like Jedi.
That's a really good Anakin.
That is Anakin, homie.
I know,
But
because like even when like
It
when
was
I
always-
met him at Star Wars nights at Disneyland, like
yeah, it's
he didn't even. I don't even think he had the scar on his face.
but there was always, especially for Anakin, right? A lot of the ladies would come dressed in some episode or some outfit from Padme.
Yeah,
They would really the people would dress up, and again, they would camp out outside of the theater or outside of the park, just waiting, right, overnight to come in and to be first in line to get the meet and greets with the celebrities or the meet and greets with the characters. The characters met all day long. They were some of the longest days that I worked. When I worked there, we had to park at Epcot. Every single cast member who worked at Epcot or at Hollywood Studios on those days would park at Epcot. They would bus us over just because it was so popular. The parking lot was full every single day for Star Wars weekends.
yeah, and I mean people are wanting to. This was like their only kind of time to have Star Wars be in a place that they're familiar with, like at the parks. Like this
Right.
is. That's it for them, and
Celebration was happening back then. But
yes, obviously.
again, I think even now, right, with, I think the Celebration community is much smaller than the Disney Star Wars community. And so a Disney event where you could still go to the park and you could still ride Star Tours or Tower of Terror or, I don't even know, Great Movie Ride back then. You could still go to the park and ride all the stuff, but also be fully immersed in Star Wars.
And I feel like it lends into that a lot of people. Well, while this was heavily advertised, like they had posters
Yes.
for it all over the place. But your international family might just have been coming for the day, and now all of a sudden all of this is happening. So
Right.
like you're just like, oh, it's already there. Like even for when I did my Disneyland night for Star Wars, like we had already planned the trip, and it just so happened to be happening. Which,
Yep.
like, that's different because that was a separate ticketed event, but, like, this was included with your admission. Like, this was all just happening.
Right. How many people were there that day just at the park because...
Being like, why is Hollywood so crowded?
Right.
I'm just trying to get to
I feel
a
for those
great
people.
movie ride.
But to be fair, I don't, I couldn't even say when I went, even as a guest, like I wasn't focused on, but I would think the rides were probably shorter wait times because people were doing other things. I mean, you could see
that
just
too.
a little bit in that video with the kid shaking Kit Fisto's hand, how long the line was to meet the Jedi, right? And there were a lot of locations like the Jedi, like the clones with Ahsoka and Rex and Cody and Asajj, and different places where you would get in line and you didn't know who you would meet by the time you got there.
That's crazy.
Like the Jedi were advertised as this is the Jedi meet and greet. You might meet Anakin, you might meet Mace Windu, you might meet Shakti, you might meet Kit Fisto, you might meet 2 of them, you might meet 3 of them, you might meet all 4, but you don't know when you get in line who you're going to meet.
Which you could never do at Disney now. It's like everything
now
has to
it's-
be planned out.
Right. They need
and so,
exact
like,
times. And so the characters, right, were on a rotation. They had their times, but none of it was advertised. When you were getting in line to meet the Jedi Council, or you were getting in line to meet the characters from the Clone Wars.
And what kind of meet and greet was that? It's like a small interaction, or it's like, because the only reason I ask is because I mean, like how you've seen from like other events where like Oogie Boogie or like the other Disneyland night events where it's like it's kind of they're just walking by.
No.
Because it's just like you got heavy traffic, you need people to just go.
No, these were, I think, from my experience, right, as a guest and working it, you had so many people that were true fans and wanted to genuinely meet these characters right? So they would come up to, maybe not Darth Maul, he didn't really talk, or Darth Vader, but, you know, Ahsoka. And they would have questions. They would want to talk to Ahsoka and talk about maybe a special episode that they remembered, or their favorite thing from the film with Anakin. You know, as you saw when that girl was with Anakin, it was always kind of a running gag of how many different, you know, women were dressed up like Padme from different scenes because they had a crush on Anakin and wanted to. But these interactions were meaningful, you know.
That they were genuine interactions. Like,
but
they're concentrating time on the person that's in front of them, whereas, like,
but I think
you're entertaining a line of people, which
they
still have them. They're just
it's
not
different when you talk about like the Oogie Boogie version, but like the meet and greets, even all the time at the parks, were different because the guests, more often than not, guests don't know what to say. They don't know, what do you tell Goofy? What do you tell Mickey? So you just run up, can I have your autograph, take a picture? Okay, bye. And so those I think for most people who work and do those meet and greets, they want to have more meaningful interactions. And I think that's what made Star Wars Weekend so special, is that the guests wanted to have the same level of interaction. They weren't just there for a picture and an autograph and to run away, but they genuinely wanted to talk to Mace Windu, or to talk to Asajj Ventress, or you know, whoever they were meeting.
And you had these opportunities to meet these characters that you would never see at the parks.
No, right? They're gone. You know, and you had some, right? The Jedi, the Chewbacca, the clones that were in a set area, meet and greet, you waited in line. But then, you know, Zam Wessel, Aura Singh, Tusken Raiders, the Gamorrean Guards, clones, stormtroopers, they're just walking around the park. And you could just go up to them and talk to them or interact with them and have those little moments.
And when you mean all over the park, they're literally like everywhere for the most part.
Yes and no, right? I mean, they had their like zones, right? So like,
you plug this into my phone.
Where the Jedi were. Oh, we'll just edit this.
What do you? That's so funny.
Where the Jedi were in that video that we just watched, there weren't any characters that were roaming in that area. But in the back of the park, right? So the backlot tour was closed during this time. So the entrance to the backlot tour was where like Darth Vader, Darth Maul met, and all around there you had a lot of the bad guys kind of met in that area. So the Aura Singh, the Zams, Gamorrean Guards, the Tusken Raiders, the Stormtroopers, they would walk around. Basically, they would walk from the edge of Pixar Boulevard, right, where the archway for the entrance and exit to the old entrance and exit of Toy Story. And they could go, I mean, it was the streets of America, so they could walk pretty far in that area. In front of Star Tours, right, you had the Cantina Band would just walk around in that area, but they would go almost to Indiana Jones. And
good Lord.
Again, they just kind of roamed around wherever they wanted. I'm trying to think who else. And some locations changed, right? So 2014, the Jedi met back in Streets of America. But in 2015, they were where you just saw next to what is now headed towards Toy Story. And so that changed a little bit. The Jawas roamed around, right? And the Jawas were cool because the Jawas, they had a little bag of trinkets and stuff. And they would legit trade. So you could go up to a Jawa and be like, hey, I have this coin, I have this pin, I have this pen, I have whatever.
Yeah.
And the Jawas would dig through their bag and find something they wanted to, and they would literally trade with people all day long.
They did that over in Launch Bay too. I remember, because this was around the time where I was still like in college. So I would, and I still had an annual pass, but if I wanted to go to the parks, I would just drive down, and I would literally think about like, what am I gonna bring to trade with the Jawa?
Yeah.
So I'm glad that they did that for weekends also, because I think that just made it more fun to go to the parks. Like, you have a goal, like you want to go ride rides, you want to go and meet certain characters. Like I would always want to go and meet like Kylo when Launch Bay was, still doing its thing.
Yeah.
But you'd also want to go and trade with the Jawas, and you want to like bring some stupid crap and just bring it to the Jawas and see. Because most of the time they wouldn't even trade. Like they might just look at your thing and just be like, "Here you go. I don't want this."
No,
But that's so cool that they did that for weekends too. Because I really loved that.
It was a ton of fun, and I remember one day I was in the back in one of the break rooms, and one of the Jawas came running back, jumping up and down because a little kid had given the Jawa a bubble, like
a bubble wand,
not a bubble wand, a bubble gun. I think maybe they had. I don't remember exactly what it wasn't. I know it wasn't a bubble wand.
It was a thing that blew bubbles.
It was something that blew bubbles, and the Jawa came back and was so excited to have it. But then it was cool because then, when they went back out, right, they, first of all, were running around all over, just blowing bubbles everywhere, causing havoc.
That's so funny.
But then they got to trade. They traded their bubble thing to some kid, and I'm sure, like, made their day.
Yes.
But yeah,
they got to have fun with it while they could, but at the end of the day.
And then made a special moment, right, for somebody. But again, I think what made this was the guests were so into it, and genuinely the interactions were incredible. The celebrities, right, were the best. You know, they were, you could see from that video, just Mark Hamill so excited, so into it. Ray Park, so many of them were just genuinely excited to be in the Star Wars world. Wow, that's hard to say.
Yeah, but you did it. It's fine.
We sort of got there. And so, like, it was such a sad thing when it ended. And I think that's, for me, like, why Celebration is so special, because it feels slightly like it. And we always have, like, there's, you know, a group of us that continuously go to Celebration, not together, but we always find each other at some point who worked Star Wars weekends, and it's our little kind of trip down memory lane of this, you know, special time of Star Wars weekends as a fan and as a cast member.
I'm sad too, honestly. Like as much as some of the things that I saw on there was
right. You never got to see Hyperspace Hoopla, the best.
I did not, and I'm glad that there's a video, because I probably would not have watched it live.
I went every night.
I'm sure you did. Just like how you made me watch a parade 4 times in Paris.
We did. Yep.
Yeah, but I mean, like, even like the 2014 version, like I'm a firm believer in what you said in making Star Wars fun, but not funny.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, like, the things that they were saying were ridiculous, and like they are in some way funny, but I have my vision of Star Wars as something that, just like what made it popular, that it blends somewhat humor, but is also taking itself seriously, but not entirely, because it kind of knows what it is.
Yeah, and I think that's right. What was the change that they made was Star Wars became true to itself when they took it over and they more controlled the shows. Mm-hmm. Right, because the 2014-2015 show feels like Star Wars,
and it's very take a picture of this to continue to
Let
promote the product.
Right, the Jedi come out and we're going to do lightsaber kata work, right? And the stormtroopers come out and they're going to shoot, and the bounty hunters come out and they're going to shoot, and Darth Maul's going to come out and do more kata lightsaber work. They're going to show, right, Luke's going to come out and swing his lightsaber around a little bit. They're going to show the moments that people want to see when they see these characters.
Exactly.
Right? Nobody thinks, I can't wait to go see Darth Vader and hope that their interaction is him dancing to Michael Jackson, right?
Yes.
I thought it was hysterical. I loved it. And yes, people are saying, oh, I want to see that because they know it's a thing. But if you don't know, no one is thinking this is what I want.
Exactly. Like, you have this idea of that when you go see Darth Vader, he's going to be a menacing and just kind of overpowering figure. And then when you see him dance to Michael Jackson, it kind of takes away from that in a way. But again, like, I could see why people would think it's funny and think it's enjoyable
Yeah.
because it's something very out of the ordinary
For sure.
for that character specifically. The stormtroopers, it just makes sense because they're meant to be kind of the
Right,
the
they
butt
are
of the joke,
goofy,
especially like that pre-show. I would be there for every day of that show if I could. It is really funny. I love that a lot. But I'm sad that it's not here with us anymore. But I mean, that's what YouTube is for. We
That's
can
what YouTube is
continue to relive those memories, or introduce yourself to what's going on there. But I'm glad that we dove a little bit into Star Wars Weekends. I'm sure it'll come up in more conversations as we continue this podcast.
It will.
But I think that's what we're going to do. I think that's all we're going to have for tonight. So I usually ask where people can find you, Chris. I know you still got your Instagram to work on.
You can find me right here on this podcast. That's where I am for now. It may change, but I'm not a big social media person currently, at least. So keep tuning in.
We shall see where that goes.
But where can the people find you?
The people can find me at BatuBoy on Instagram and YouTube. That's BATUUBOII on Instagram.
2 U's, 2 I's.
Yes, Instagram and YouTube. That is mainly where I'll be active, and I'll post videos. And make sure, if you're listening, this was a very weird episode to listen to, so make sure
Yeah, we're going to have to figure out how to edit.
Who's we?
Well, good luck.
Yeah, thank you. But
get rid of your
we'll figure it out. It'll be on the audio as well, just for people that rather listen to it as a podcast. But I highly encourage you watch this one because there's a lot of video aspect of it.
Yeah, it's going to make a whole lot more sense.
Correct.
If
Instead
you see
of just
what we see.
listening to what's going on, like watch it. It's fun, and sometimes I'll throw in little weird things in the video version just because I feel like it. But other than that. Thank you for watching Fulcrum Frequencies, and may the Force be with you always. Well, that's it. That is the total of our recording session reacting to Star Wars Weekends. It was a lot of fun in the moment, and getting to be able to see the event and have Chris talk us through it was something special. Really jealous that I was not here for that event, especially when you could go and just get Mark Hamill's autograph for basically free if you boy math it. But again, just thank you guys again so much for watching, and just stay tuned to the next episode of Fulcrum Frequencies. But until then, till the spire, my friends.